Turn it up a notch. From hot, now we scolding. Just like not when we ride and we rolling. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Watch them burst in the flames like the word was the plague. Flow centrifugal, forcing you to listen and informing you the mission is possible. Prodigal, sons of the prophets, running through your pockets. Pictures like the gossip, but we versing every topic. Pulling Barney out the rubber, reborn them on a double. Jacob's trouble, we'll be burying the bodies. Shouting with the shotty, wishing a nigga would like a lock ya. Right, it's all good. More swine for the legion. The fry of the heathens going up like the night we had to slide out of Egypt. Spill the blood of the covenant, let judgment run down like water from martyr to slaughter. Building with the man of sand, and Mary Magdalene. Phineas caught him slipping in the darkness, hit them targets with the javelin. Sleeping with the enemy is enmity, quite literally. Fucking with my nerves like a perm, let it burn. I return with the Mac, I'm sticking to the script, cause the law is intact. Through water in advance. In the world, I was of it, my nigga. I would covet, like Dolph did the Jewish man. Threw it in the oven. Second coming with the smoke, he fucking with the cold. Speaking to the reservations, through the revelations. Universal education, you with the observation. Profit is my occupation. We are not debating. This a hostile takeover. Swimming in this bitch, and she want a mommy makeover. More tail than a Daytona with rank on her. ISUPK, straight soldiers.
He shall bless thee in the land which the Lord God giveth thee. He ain't been blessed. He's in about the churches, huh?
All right. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Bear with me 1 second. Get this all straightened out. Make sure this is charging. Okay. All right, yeah, we charged up. All right, Shalom, Israel. Once again, another Monday night class. Slack is starting a little late tonight, but we're going to get to it. Business as usual. I'm Priest and Captain of 10,000 Cornwall Israelite School of UPK. Coming out of the Pacific Northwest, all you brothers out there, and sisters on the West Coast of the map, Seattle, Tacoma, Portland, you understand, Northern California, San Diego, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Arizona, Pacific Standard Time, man. You need to check in and get into an ISUPK class near you. You understand? It's pivotal for your life, you know what I mean, and your forward movement in regards to, you know what I mean, your salvation. You understand? There's a lot of people out here playing with the Lord, man. You understand? And partly it's because of the trauma that you've had growing up in life. You've had a lot of trauma. You've had a lot of, tribulations and trials that you've had to go through on a day-to-day basis. And you got to realize, man, above all, you understand, you got to learn to overcome. You got to learn to put things in the past. And what I mean by that, you got to sit certain situations down so that you can rise above it. If you stay soaking in your sorrows and you say to yourself, it's impossible to climb up out of this hole. Well, you're telling yourself that, and inherently you're starting to believe it. You understand? In the UPK, man, we teach strength, we teach understanding, we teach confidence, the very things that you're going to need to do what? To be successful in your life. You understand? And so we're going to go into it, man. Like the topic, give me 1 second here. The topic of tonight's class is, for some may not believe. For some may believe and some may not. You understand? And that's really important to see that because, in the Bible, there was people that came to the prophets, came to the disciples, came to the men of God, and they ended up falling. This is brothers and sisters because they chose not to see above themselves. You understand? They chose not to realize the importance, you understand, of why. And I mean, why you have to, you know what I'm saying, believe in a power greater than yourself. You understand? With all the destruction we've had to deal with on a day-to-day basis, with all of the you know what I mean, obstacles that we have to climb over, man, it should be very apparent that somebody's working something not in your favor. And you got to ask yourself why. And I'm going to tell you that reason why, because you failed to believe in the Most High God. You failed to believe in the truth according to the Bible. Let me start here. Where do I want to start? Let's go to Hebrews. Is that Romans or Hebrews? I think it's Romans 14:1. Let me get that real quick. Romans chapter 14. Is that what I want? Yes. Romans chapter 14, verse 1. And it reads, him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. Like, you got to realize, man, you can't be somebody weak in the faith, man. You got to understand, man. What's that in Hebrews, man? Hebrews 11:1. Let's pull that real quick. Hebrews the 11th chapter and the first verse. Like these things, like these scriptures, man, it's absolute medicine for you. You understand? It's absolute medicine for you to get up out of destruction. It's absolute medicine for you to build and restore your family and your nation. If you decide to want to be better, if you decide to want change. This is Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You haven't seen the kingdom of heaven yet. You haven't seen, you understand, the other nations pay for the things that they've done to you. Not yet, but you got to believe that it's going to happen. You got to believe that it's in the works. You got to believe that the Father, you understand, our power, Yahweh in the Hebrew, you understand, and his son, Yahweh Shai, who did what? You know what I mean? Made an ultimate sacrifice, did it for you because he knew the hell he was leaving you in. He knew what challenges that you had coming. You understand? And you got to get in this book, get in class, and relearn how to live. You understand? But you're not going to do it with a Christian mind state. You understand? The Christian church is a house of lies. It's the house of Satan. It's the house of a place where, like, how do I want to say it, man? Like, it's a house of madness, man. It's a trap. It's a cesspool. It's quicksand that's unaliving you on a day-to-day basis. And you fail to realize it because lies taste good to you. You understand? We'll get into lies in just a minute, but you understand. This is Hebrews, the 11th chapter, the first verse. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You understand? For by it, the elders obtained a good report. Meaning what, man? By them understanding these scriptures, understanding how to live, understanding the conduct that you should understand. You know what I mean? They were able to get a good report, man. And that report was they were able to save. And when I say save, I mean they were able to help brothers. You understand? They were able to get brothers out of jams, get brothers in better situations, get sisters in better circumstances. You understand? You got to learn to have some faith. You understand? A lot of brothers and sisters out here, man, you don't even know how to pray, man. You don't even know you got to face the east. You don't understand you got to get into a dark place. You understand? You don't understand that you got to pray for strength. You got to pray for understanding. You got to pray for the Lord to forgive you for the things that you have done so that you could truly transform into a new person. You understand? Like, you got to understand, you know what I mean? Faith is a very important thing in the work of the Lord, man. You understand? That's why it's mentioned all throughout the Bible. You know what I mean? A common one brought up, faith of a mustard seed. Why is that brought up? Because something so small became something so gigantic. You understand? It's possible if you want it, if you choose to want it, but you got to have faith that this work is going to not go void. You got to have faith that this work is going to come to something. You understand? You just got to put your time in. You got to just sit back and realize the importance of what you are doing and what it is showing, you know what I mean, the Most High, you know what I mean, is you're persuading him because you show him that you love him by doing as he's commanded you to do so. You understand? And let's go back to Romans 14:1 real quick. That's why this is important to understand. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. You understand? Don't be a doubtful person. Don't be a person that's in your mind and always questioning. You understand? Sometimes you got to let me think for you. When I say me, the brothers over you, the sisters over you. I mean, that's like it, not the sisters, but the sisters, I would say, in this context of the seasoned sisters that, you know what I mean, have been here, gone through some trials. As you coming in, sisters, as young and youthful, follow those sisters that are wise and have a little bit of season. You understand? They've been around a while. You understand? But importantly, follow men that actually want to see your greatness, want to actually see you, doing the things that you're supposed to do. So, like it, 1 second here. What am I looking at? What is this? Bear with me, please. Baba Shah. All right. We're going to drop that. Let's go to Micah. Let's go to Micah, the 4th chapter. Micah 4. Ryan Haggai. Here we go. Micah. Let's go to Micah, the 4th chapter, and let's start at the first verse, and it reads, But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall exalt above the hills, and the people shall flow into it. Listen, the Lord does not forget. You know what I mean? He has not forgotten you. He does not forget, he's not forgetful as you. He's not a procrastinator like you. You understand? He is going to allow the kingdom of heaven, meaning the brothers, the government, the people, his nation, who he laid his name on. He's going to allow them to sit at that top, man, above all the other nations, you understand, and all the other people, where everyone flows in to serve us, you understand? And it's important, you understand, that they serve us because it was built by design for that to be the case. But they also are going to serve you because you learn to fight right now. Like, you're fighting for your life. You're fighting for an opportunity, you understand, to sit among all the other nations and be better than them. Show them you're better than them and serve a power that they wish they could be near or nigh unto. You understand? This is verse 2. Micah chapter 4, verse 2. And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Lord, to the house of the Lord God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. You understand? Verse 3. And he shall judge among many people. You understand? And that's what's going to happen to these nations, man, that have treated you so disgustingly and so horrible, man. You have been dealt with horrible in this place. You understand? And they're going to have to come and serve under you. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's the promise that the Lord, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he gave as a vision to the prophets. You understand? Great things that have come for Zion. Great things that have come for Jerusalem. Great things that have come for Israel. You understand? The true Israelites. You understand, of the Bible. You blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Just be patient. You understand? Don't be weak in the faith. You understand? You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to just remember, man, faith is the evidence of, believing in the of the unseen. You understand? As it is in Hebrews, the 11th chapter, first verse. You understand? I'm going to keep reading. This is Micah chapter 4. I'm going to read verse 3 again. And he shall judge among many people. And that's what's going to happen. We're going to judge, you understand, many people. You know what I mean? Many nations are going to be judged for the way that they've destroyed us. And they've, you know what I mean? They've benefited off of our destruction. They're going to be judged for that because they did not care. They saw the evilness being done to us and they contributed to it. That's what makes Psalms, the 83rd chapter, so heavy, Because when you sit back and realize that it says they consulted, right? They consulted and made a tumult. They made an agreement. You understand? And that's what you see every day while you in hell. You see an agreement of the other nations treating you like nothing because it benefits their people. And that's okay. You understand? Why do I say that's okay? Because it's a matter of time. It's just a matter of time until they get to feel what we feel on a day-to-day basis. Um, you understand? And it says, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. Why do we bring this up? Because you see what's happening, man. You see that they're preparing. Slowly but surely, war is on the horizon, man. Slowly but surely. And you got to be mindful. You got to pay attention because the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night as they prepare to destroy each other. And you want to be prepared. Only way you're going to be prepared is coming in the Israelite School of UPK, where you're going to learn, you know what I mean, what's coming, how to live, how to conduct yourself, you understand, and how to lead the other nations, you know what I mean, when the kingdom of heaven comes, how to lead your nation, you understand, when it's time to put us back in order, you understand. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. You understand? And that's going to be a beautiful time when the Lord brings what? The destruction that they deserve. That they're used to being the ones that, go to war and have the power and abilities and the might of their military and their country. You understand? When we get in power, they will never know war again. You understand? Because if they tried to know war with us, we would make them, you understand, as the Edomites. You understand? Which at some point, if you understand the Bible, the house of Esau will be no more at some point. Try to come up against the house of Israel, and you will be as nothing at some point, man. Don't play. That's what the Lord is saying. You're going to know no more war. And it's going to be beautiful, man. It's going to be a beautiful situation for us. Let me drop that. Let's go to one of them bedrocks, still right here. Let's go to Amos chapter 3, or Amos, however you say it, 3:1. Amos chapter 3, verse 1. And it reads, hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known. That's not a myth. That's not a fairy tale. That's not a lie. That's the Bible. Of all the families of the earth, you only has he known. So then what are you going to do about it, man? Are you going to accept who you were always supposed to be? Or are you going to keep living a lie? You understand? Are you going to keep loving and digesting falsehood? You understand? We have so many more important things to do. You understand? Than continue to be evil, then continue to be disgusting, then continue to be vain. You understand? The Lord said, of you only has he known, of all the families of the earth. You understand? Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. And that's why we dealing with what we dealing with, man. We're being punished because we can't sit down and realize, you know what I mean, that the other nations are not for us. We can't sit and realize that, you understand, their lifestyle and their way of doing things is not profitable. We have this mindset that we can make it one day. You will never be able to make it in their kingdom. It is set up and designed for you to fail. You understand? It's a trap. It's an absolute trap. When are you going to realize it's time to stop being sleep? Stop being, you understand, weak. You understand? How many more unaliving of your babies, of our children, of our brothers, of our sisters has to keep going on, man? Like every day, man, it saddens me. Every day I sit here and I just look on social media, and I sometimes I go to just to see, you know, the murder rates in different states and um, different cities, not for anything other than how my people are doing. You understand? And time again, I start to see every as time progresses, it's a new city where we're at and we're populating and we're making, we're making it in some degree a place to be because we don't have no choice but to be there. We're doing nothing but unaliving ourselves. We're doing nothing but participating in, the drug use or the drug selling. You understand? And yes, it comes from survival, but it also is something that has been taught and been a hell of a propaganda in our culture that we believe it's normal. Like at a point in my life, as a young man, I thought selling drugs was normal. I thought prostitution was normal. I thought going to jail was normal. Like I thought these things were normal, not because you understand I just made it up in my mind. I grew up around my family and that's all we were doing. That's all I was seeing. That's what got people, acceptance. That's what was, deemed as successful. And it's a horrifying thing to see, these days that we continue on this path of destruction, man. And it's because some of y'all hear us but just choose not to believe. Some of us believe, man, but some of us choose not to believe. And it's biblical. And yes, some of y'all will find yourself walking down the path to your own grave. And I feel sorry for you. You understand? But you won't be able to put the blood on my hands or any of my brother's hands because we're going to get on this internet. We're going to get in these highways and these byways, and we want to do as we're prescribed. We're going to do as the Lord has commanded us. You understand? And we're going to push this truth. You understand? Not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. I don't care what you want to hear. You understand? You need to listen to what you need to hear. And what you need to hear is the UPK under Commander Jerry Yohana, all his brothers, all his, all his soldiers, you understand, who are here to really enforce the narrative, you understand, that Christ is coming. We have to change. We were taught, we were bred to be better. You understand? All of that is very important in our forward movement. Where am I at? This is verse 3. It says, Amos chapter 3, verse nope, we'll stop right there. You can keep going, but I'm gonna leave it right there. You understand? Let's go to Baruch. Let's go here. This is Baruch chapter 4. I'm gonna start at verse 6. Baruch 4:6, yeah. Yeah, this is Baruch chapter 4, verse 6, and it reads, Ye were sold to the nations. That's something that you really got to understand. When we tell y'all, man, that these other nations, they rape, rob, and pillage us as a community, it's not just something we're saying. It's the truth according to the Bible. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 6, and it reads, Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction. And that's the cold part. The Lord sold us to the other nations, meaning he allowed the other nations to conquer us, not for them to destroy us, meaning to just completely, do away with us. I'm going to keep reading. But because ye moved the Most High to wrath. And what was that wrath that we moved the Most High to? We forgot where we come from. We forgot who we belong to. We decided to pledge our allegiance to the other nations instead of pledging our allegiance to the Most High power. And it's sad because, you understand, if we would just come back to the Lord, we would have everything that we need. But we don't see it. This is why you go through what you go through every day. You're a product, you understand, of being sold to the other nations. And you're going through all the things that you're going through because you refuse to accept who you belong to. I'm gonna keep reading. It says, but because, oh, Slagia, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies. Verse 7, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils. Man, and that's what you do every day. We sacrifice unto devils, man. If it's on our job, you understand, where we're compromising our integrity, you understand, trying to assimilate to whatever it is, the culture of that place. If it's selling your body, you understand, on the internet or on the street corner, if it's selling drugs to your brothers and sisters and then bragging about it on mixtapes, you understand? If it's, doing drugs and polluting yourself and just destroying your temple that doesn't even belong to you, you understand? Or if it's looking at your brother, you understand, and hating your brother, man. Like, these are the things, you understand, you were delivered unto your enemies. And it's very clear, you understand? The other nations are your enemies. As much as you gotta how would I say, another nation that could kind of understand you, or he grew up with you a little bit, that doesn't make him you. You understand? He may just be cursed, even worse in some ways, that he had to grow up around you in hell. When you can see how other nations, you understand, have their country, have their wealth, have their own resources. You understand? And he had to grow next to you. You understand that's just sad for him. But I say that to say, man, you were sold unto your enemies, and it's very apparent. And you have to start recognizing those other nations as who they are, your enemy. I'm gonna keep reading. Where we at? The end of verse 6, verse 7. For you provoked the Most High that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to the Most High. You understand? You know what I mean? And what is that sacrifice, man? Doing what the Lord has asked you to do. That's a sacrifice. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments is a sacrifice, but it's a beautiful sacrifice. It's what keeps you alive. It's what keeps your family safe. But you forgot who you belong to. Verse 8, for ye have forgotten the everlasting God. You have forgot that everlasting power. You forgot who the Most High. I mean, Baruch was letting it be known, man. This is, I mean, this is one of my favorite chapters in the book. Let me keep reading. Top of verse 8. Ye have forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. You understand? Verse 9, for when she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, and said, hearken, O ye that dwell upon Zion, God, the Most High have brought upon me great mourning. And that's what we deal with every day. Every day your life is mourning. Every day your life is ravished. Every day your life is in turmoil, because you have not realized what great atrocity you have done. You understand? And it's okay. The Lord had mercy by sending the Israelite school of UPK, by allowing the truth to be back in this place for a short time. Like how he said in Revelations, he was going to loosen up and let Satan out for a time, for a season. He's letting the UPK out and the truth out for a season. You understand? So that you can get an opportunity to fix yourself and be deemed worthy of salvation before he sends the hunters. And believe me, the hunters are on the way. You understand? If you didn't think so, you're just definitely asleep, because America and all the other nations wouldn't be preparing for war the way they are. They wouldn't have been putting all this money and financial gain into their military might for nothing. You understand? We're going to keep reading. We're at Baruch, the 4th chapter, and we're going to keep reading at verse 10. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. You always ask questions, man, about why you live in this way, why you dealing with things the way you dealing with it. It's because it was brought upon yourself, man. You brought this upon you. You did this, nobody else. You understand? And the Lord allowed it. You understand? Verse 11. With joy did I nourish them. but sent them away with weeping and mourning. You know what I mean? With joy did I nourish them. What does that mean? The Lord gave you everything you needed, man. He gave you the truth. He gave you the understanding. And what did you do? You thought that being with white women was better. What did you think? You thought eating abominations was better. You thought as the sons of God sleeping with the sons of men was better. Meaning, you understand? Attaching yourself to the other nations. All of those things have failed us. You understand? Being weak has failed us. Weakness can no longer live. We have to be strong. You understand? And if you don't know how to be strong, that's fine. We'll show you. You understand? We'll teach you. We'll instruct you. You understand? Because at one time I was weak. You understand? But brothers prayed for me. You understand? And just as I pray for you, I pray that you understand the importance of why you should change. You understand? The miracle is seeing brothers like, your brothers like all over the country, from different states, from different backgrounds, come together and truly show, an appreciation and love for one another for the same purpose, man. It's beautiful, man. It's an amazing act, and it is the spirit of the Lord. You understand? It's the true essence of gathering yourself, O nation not desired. And you brothers and sisters that are in, certain cities that are undesirable, especially y'all in the Pacific Northwest. Ain't nothing to be desired out there, man. You living in white. You're in the whitest place on the west, one of the whitest places on the West Coast, and it barely, and I ain't even talking about just because of the snow. It's crazy. You understand? You gotta escape that madness, man. You gotta crawl up out of that. You understand? And you could do it. You got brothers here that'll help you, sisters that'll help you. That whole time in your life, you've been thinking, man, you've been by yourself. Nah, man, you've been choosing to be by yourself. The Lord is just waiting for you to come back home. I'm gonna keep reading. See how far I'm gonna go down into this. Yeah, my notes to that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 12. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Most High. That's why it's very funny, right? When you sit there and you listen to these fake, doctrines and these fake understanding of people in the world, and they tell you the law is not important. You know what I mean? The Bible tells you all through it, man, that the law, of God is what's going to allow you safety and security. You understand? We'll keep reading. Verse 13. They knew not the statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. You understand? Verse 14. Let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of the sons of daughters, which the everlasting have brought upon them. For he have brought a nation upon them from far, for a shameless nation. And that's what's so sad. The nations that are brought upon us, man, especially these Esau and the nation that's ruling us now, is a shameless nation. You understand? Think about all the things that they do, how they live, how they deal with each other, how they conduct business. You understand? They're a shameless people, man. And the Lord allowed them to be upon us, man, and take us over only because we forgot who he was, only because we forgot the power that it is in serving the law, only because we thought we forgot the power it is in being together, being one nation, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian brothers. For a shameless nation, this is end of 15, a shameless nation and of a strange language. English is a strange language. Spanish is a strange language. You understand? French is a strange language. Portuguese is a strange language. All of these things that we speak are not our tongue, and we lost it. We lost our holy tongue, the Lashawan Kwadash. We lost it as a people because we wanted to be with everybody else. Man, I say Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah to the Most High, man, for this truth, man. I thank the Lord every day for this truth. I thank the Lord every day, you know what I mean, because my children and my family are that much closer. You understand? And that's why brothers like myself dedicated our lives to this work. Nothing else matters. Everything else is obsolete. You understand? And you'll understand it as times get rougher, as times get harder, as you start to see that this place wants to destroy you. Let's keep going. A shameless nation and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. You understand? And that's clear to this day. They treat our elderly like nothing, and they destroy our children in our woman's womb. You understand? They have no pity over our family members and are weak. Verse 16. These have carried away the dearly beloved children of the widow. You understand? That's you brothers out there dying in the streets or being unalived in the streets. You understand? Y'all, that's being done by design. You understand? Because you've been taught to live lawlessly. You've been taught to move and conduct yourself a certain way like that. You know what I mean? That's not who you always were to be. You understand? 1 second. That's not who you were taught to be. And that's because you're better than that. You understand? You're absolutely better than that. But you don't know that because America has told you what you wanted to hear. You understand? And what you love and what you feel is important. All of that is the reason why you are dealing with what you're dealing with now. I'm gonna keep going. Read 16 one more time. But these have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters. But what can I help you? You understand? Verse 18. For he brought these plagues upon you. Will do. Let's read that again. Verse 18. For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Deliverance is on the way, you understand? But you gotta change. You understand? You gotta want to be different. You gotta want to not be of these other nations. You gotta change your mind. You gotta be clean up here. If you change your thought process and the way you think, everything else about you will increase. You understand? That is being baptized by the renewing of your mind. You understand? Not some water. You understand? That's not going to clean you. That's not going to cleanse you. Truly being cleansed is by following, you understand, the words and the oracles of this Bible and implementing them. Verse 19, it says, go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. Verse 20, I have put off the clothing of peace and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Be of good cheer, O my children. Cry unto the Most High, and he shall deliver you from the power of and hand of the enemies. For hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall be soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. You understand? And why did I go over that? You know what I mean? A little lengthy to go into that, but I went into that to understand, so it kept reinforcing what's going on, man. You're dealing with the situations because of what has transpired from our past actions and our current ones. And the Lord has not forgotten us. He just wants you to recognize what's going on. so that he can show you his real strength. He can show you his real power. But you're not going to ever see the Lord. You're never going to get an opportunity at that, living and conducting yourself the way that you do. You will continue to fail until he raises up the nation of men and women and children that want to not have to die and perish. You understand? We'll drop that. Where we going? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20. All right. Let's read. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, to demons. Listen, man. The way that these other nations, live, man, in the way that they conduct themselves, man, they're sacrificing themselves unto devils, man. And you follow them by living a life thinking that your life should be like theirs, man. You can't do these things anymore. You can't continue to sacrifice yourself unto demons and unto this world and unto the spirits of this place. It says, but I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. You understand? You should not be dealing with these other brothers and sisters, man, that do the things that are in opposition of the Bible. Understand? You have to chastise them by your actions and by your words. You have to, one, be doing the very things that are prescribed in this Bible so that you can then tell them why they should be changed, why they should conduct themselves that way. Don't be the Christians. Don't be the Muslim mosques. Don't be these false doctrines that say one thing and do another because it sounds good. They love being manipulated. They love being told what tastes good to the tongue. That's not this, man. Let me drop that. Let me get Jeremiah 31. No, Jeremiah 3, not 31. Jeremiah 3. It's the book of Jeremiah. What page is that? Kind of fold it down and fix that. After Isaiah. Let's go to Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. This is Jeremiah chapter 3. And we're going to read verse 14. It says, turn, O backsliding children. You understand? The Christian church got you backsliding. You understand? Philosophies of America got you backsliding. This whole concept of happy wife, happy life got you backsliding. Trying to think that the way that the Asians and the Caucasians and the East Indians live and you living like them has got you backsliding. You have a culture. You have a people. You have a God. You have an understanding. You have a breakdown of how you were supposed to be. Stop trying to be everybody else but that. That is what has fooled you and caused us to be in destruction. It says, turn ye, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you. The Lord said he is married unto you. He has pledged his allegiance with you. But you keep whoring on him. You keep wanting the other nations that bring you nothing. It profits you nothing to follow them. But you allow yourself to continue to be locked in with them. Man, it sickens me every day. He said, turn, you old backsliding children, saith the Lord. For I am married unto you, and I will take you, one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. Verse 15, I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with understanding, with knowledge and understanding. That's the UPK, you understand? But you don't want to realize it because you have your own preconceived notion about what we are and what we stand for. because you believe in what other people say and not what we do. We show you what we are by our actions and what we say, but you believe everybody else who has no credibility, who has no track record. You understand? Because you have grown accustomed to doing what? Living a understanding of loving liars. Let me teach you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. What's that precept? I'm jumping a little ahead, but let me bring that out. Where is that at? And no, it's in Ez. Is it in Ezra or Maccabees? Nope, it's in Ecclesiasticus. Let me show you something real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 20. Ecclesiasticus chapter 20, verse 24, and it reads, "A lie is a foul blot in a man, yet it is continually in the mouth of the untaught." Let me tell you something about a lie, man. Not only is a blot, it's a stain on you, it's in the mouth of an untaught person. Your Christian pastor is untaught. Your Muslim imam is untaught. Your friend, your best friend, your homegirl, your homies, you understand? All of them are untaught. You understand? Because they're full of lies and they spread them. They're full of murmuring and they spread it. They're full of gossip and they spread it. Scripture says very clear, a lie is a foul blot in a man, yet is the continually in the mouth of the untaught. A thief is better than a man that is accustomed to a lie. That's crazy. Like, now, stealing is a sin. You understand what I'm saying? But when the Lord said a thief is better than you that lie, because listen, a thief is trying to come up for his own benefit. You typically don't want to just be a thief. You understand? It's because of your circumstances and what you're going through. But someone that lies, that's just something completely different. You understand? Some people lie when they don't have to lie because they've grown accustomed to it. And it's sickening. And it's a sickness. You understand? And you need to wake up out of that madness and shake that demon off of you. I'm going to keep reading. It says, a thief is better than a man that is accustomed to a lie, but they both have their destruction to heritage. They both have destruction coming their way. That thief ain't getting, you know what I mean, getting away with nothing. Verse 26, the deposition of a liar is dishonorable, meaning the story. A deposition is your story, your point of view. You understand? You know what I mean? The deposition of a liar is dishonorable, and his shame is ever with him. You understand? Keep reading. A wise man shall promote himself to honor with his words, and he that have understanding will praise great men. Verse 28, he that telleth the land shall increase his heap, and he that pleaseth great men shall get pardon for iniquity. Why do I bring all this out, man? You got to understand who you allowing yourself, you know what I mean, to absorb. And what I mean by that, what are you intaking? Who are you listening to? Who are you talking to? Who are you believing? Who are you putting your faith and trust in? Because whoever you are doing that with is destroying you. Whoever you're deciding is important in those categories is leading you down a path that you don't want to be upon. You understand? Let me go. Let me keep reading. No, it's a little bit more on that. Let me keep reading. Verse 29. Presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise, and stop us his mouth that he cannot reprove. And that's what your Christian pastor is about. You believe them, but they getting all the accolades, the Bentleys, the jet planes, and all the diamonds and everything, and it's deterring them from seeing the truth. You understand? That's why scripture says what? A gift destroyeth the heart. You understand? Verse 30. Wisdom that is hid and treasure that is hoarded up. What is the profit in them both? You understand? Lord saying, man, what is the wisdom? What is wisdom if you hide it? What is treasure if you hoard it up? You understand? Nothing. You understand? Better is he that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom. Man, listen. Better is a man that hideth some mistakes that he has made. You understand? Than a man hideth his wisdom. Because wisdom is the ability to help you understand, problems and circumstances that give you understanding. You know what I mean? To be wise within them. I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 32. Necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a God. Ooh, man. I'm gonna read that one more time. Verse 32 says, necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a God. Having patience in the Most High and, taking it step by step and day by day is better than someone that just says, I'm going to just follow my own lead. You understand? Everybody needs a shepherd. You got hell of them, man. You got a whole lot of them here in the Israelite School of UPK. Here, ready to lead, ready to push the line. You just got to be ready to follow so that you too can learn to lead and bring more brothers, bring more sisters. You understand? Drop that. Pull something else. Where do I want to go? Let me get out of here real quick. Let me go to, I'm going to go to Romans and then we'll go to Acts. Excuse me. Let's go to Romans, the first chapter. Romans, chapter 1. I'm going to go there real quick. This is Romans. No, that's not it. Chapter 1. And we're going to start at verse 18. We're going to read. For the wrath of the Most High is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. You understand? Why do I bring that out, man? You know what I mean? The wrath is coming to y'all, man, and you're going to be revealed. Your churches and your mosque and your religious institutions, they're going to start to be broken into pieces. They're going to. And that's because the Lord is bringing the spirit down, man. He's allowing this spirit to run rampant, you understand, and crush lies and crush deceit. You understand? It's going to happen. It must happen. It's necessary. Drop that. We'll go to Acts real quick. Acts the 28th chapter. So I want to go. Why do I want to go here? Because it's really the topic of tonight's class. You understand? Just to kind of, lay it down. We're going to start I'm going to get to the point. This is Acts chapter 28. And we're going to read verse 23. Let me just make sure I'm on the right page. That's 27. All right. So this is Paul. You understand? Paul was moving around doing his work, man. He was doing his work in this particular place for a few years. You understand? And I'm going to read. And it says, in Acts chapter 28, verse 23, and when they had appointed him the day there came many to him into his lodging, to whom expounded and testified the kingdom of the Most High, persuading them concerning Yahushua or Jesus, both out of the law of Moses and out of the prophets, from morning till evening. So this is actually a cut for those that don't understand. When Christ was on the scene, he was teaching from what? He was teaching from the Old Testament. It was proper. You understand that? A lot of times you're hearing in the New Testament, you're hearing context from the Old Testament because he was studied up on his nationality, on his history, on his book, his constitution. It's the best word. He was studied up on his constitution. And so this is a time when Paul was doing some teaching. And it said he was teaching from the Old Testament and from the prophets from morning to evening. I mean, he was just spilling this truth all day. You want to hear it? Come, lock in. In verse 24, and it says, and some believed the things which were spoken, and some believed not. And that's the problem, man. So that's the problem with our people, man. Some of us gonna believe, and that's beautiful, but some of us believe not. You understand? And that's another thing, man. Some of us are believing not. And why do we believe not? Because we choose not to want to see. You understand? Now, some of y'all just will never see, and that's fine. Because it's beneficial for you not to see. Because some of you, if you got this, you would pollute this. And we see it right now in all these other Christianite groups that want to be us, but show themselves to be very unworthy. You understand? And very disingenuous. You know what I mean? They're just disgusting, man. Best thing I can say. And so he was teaching this day and night. And some believed and some believed not. Verse 25. And when they agreed not among themselves, they departed after that Paul had spoken one word. You understand? And then listen, after they didn't agree with what Paul had to say, man, they was like, man, I got to get out of here. That's how y'all is when y'all walking right past this at camp. That's how y'all is when you come into class thinking that this is the Christian church. That's how y'all think this is when you think that we are something of this world, and we're not. You depart because you have not chosen to fight your demons truly. And so you're going to leave. Well spake the Holy Spirit by Isaiah, the prophet, unto our fathers. And he was mentioning Isaiah. Once again, speaking about, brothers in the Old Testament. You understand? And the prophets, you know what I mean? The books of Moses, you understand? And the prophets, you know what I mean? Verse 26, saying, go unto this people and say, hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand. And that's the problem, man. We going unto y'all knowing that y'all hearing, y'all just don't want to understand, man. Hearing ye shall hear and ye shall not understand. And seeing shall see and not perceive. You understand? Like you don't want. That's why the scripture says that he that have an ear, let him hear. You understand? You have an ear and still just don't want to hear. You are getting understanding and just don't want to receive it, and it's all right. You understand? Verse 27. For the heart of this people is wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and that's the problem with our people, man. Because you have pledged your allegiance to Catholicism and Christianity, you can't see past the idols that you serve. You can't see past the traditions of men. You can't see past none of it, and it's failing us as a people. And it says, and their eyes have they closed, lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. And that's what's going to happen if you choose to accept this truth. But you refuse to accept it. You know why? Because you don't want to hear. You don't want to see this for the reality. It's because you lack faith. It's because you lack the truth, it's because you lack understanding. And it's not because you can't get it, because the Lord said he put it in your inward parts. It's because you close yourself off from this truth. You understand? And this one is so heavy. Like Paul was saying, like, man, listen, I've been here teaching day and night, right? You know what I mean? Teaching about the prophets, teaching about the laws of Moses, the whole nine, right? I'm doing everything that I told you I was going to do. And you still refuse to hear me. You have deaf ears. You understand? You got, you know what I mean? You just your heart is closed out. You understand? And the only way you're going to be able to get converted is if you decide to want to change. You understand? It's a decision you have to make. You understand? Verse 28. Be it known therefore unto you that the salvation of the Most High is sent unto the Gentiles, and that they will hear it. And who are those Gentiles? Those Gentiles are the Israelites. Now, a lot of people get that mixed up because they don't understand the fullness of the Gentiles. You understand? Who was the law given to? Who was the understanding given to? You understand? It was given to Israel. You understand? How do we prove that? That's in Second Esdras, the 13th chapter. What's that? Second Esdras 13. Like a lot of y'all don't realize, when we get called Gentiles in the New Testament, part of that is because of the captivity where we're in. You understand? Like ain't nothing new under the sun. Y'all want to graft and get everybody else in here that don't belong here. That's not how this works. Second Esdras. Is that what I want? No, that's not it. It's not Second Esdras, is it? What is it? Bear with me. Let me get that precept I'm looking for. Is it not that 30 and 38? Hold on. They shall all evil thoughts turn. Nope, that's not it. Bear with me. I'm looking for a precept to be on topic. No. Man, where is that precept at? I know I have it somewhere. It's not in Maccabees. Okay. Should I? Yeah, it is in Maccabees. Second Maccabees, actually. The 6th chapter. Let me get that real quick. So when we read Acts 28, to someone that doesn't understand context, let me read this one more time. Acts 28 and 28. It says, be it known therefore unto you that salvation of the Most High is sent unto the Gentiles, that they will hear it. You understand? When it says that, it's not talking about the other nations. You understand? It's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel, the northern and southern kingdom. You understand? You got to understand that, identifying yourself in captivity as, these things, as the children of God, as the Israelites, in some cases was a death offense. You understand? And when you start to understand the nations and how they roll and how they dealt with us, it's easy to now grasp this understanding. Now, yes, we were born into these other nations because we were kicked out and ostracized and outcast because of things that we did either against the Lord, our family, you understand, or the Lord just stopped dealing with us. So we all technically became Gentiles. But let me just give you some context real quick. This is Second Maccabees, the 6th chapter. And I think it's 6 and 6 is the point. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna start at 6 and 4. It says 6 and 3. This is Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 3. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people. For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dialed with harlots and had to do with women within circuit of the holy places, talking about the other nations. And besides, that brought in things that were not lawful. You understand? The altar was filled with profane things, for the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath day or ancient feasts, or to profess himself to at all be a Jew. So when you understand, like, you know, these brothers and sisters, man, we was going through hell, and that's coming in America right now today. You understand? We're not allowed to profess ourselves as a Jew to this day. You understand? And what I mean by that is on a larger scale. We say we're a Jew in front of everybody else, we get ostracized. You saw Nick Cannon try to do it. You saw who else is in it? Kyrie Irving try to mention the Hebrews in a book. You saw Kendrick Lamar do it. You saw all of these people try to mention who they are, and they got kicked to the side because we are not allowed to, in captivity, profess we are Jews. That's what makes the UPK so radical. So we wear these shields. We speak the language. We get really dialed in with this, you understand? Because we understand what this comes with, and we're okay with it. You understand? Verse 6, it says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days, ancient feast, or profess himself to be a Jew. Is there any more on that? I'm not gonna leave it right there. So that's just to kind of go into that real quick. Let's go back to Acts 28, and it reads, be it known therefore unto you that the salvation of the God of the Most High is sent unto the Gentiles, that they will hear it. You understand? And when he had said these words, the Jews departed and had great reasoning amongst themselves. You understand? And Paul dwelt 2 whole years in his own hired house, and received all them that came unto him, preaching the kingdom of the Most High, and teaching those things which concern the Lord, our King Christ, with all confidence, no man forbidding him. And so you get a lot of brothers and sisters these days, man. Y'all crazy for thinking that, the Spanish tribes are Israelites. Listen, man, we teach this truth with all confidence. We teach this truth with understanding who these brothers and sisters are, who they are as far as where they came from. And we don't just kick them out because we have issues like the white man or the other nations with colorism. We're not going to not just deal with these brothers and sisters just because, understand, how would I say it? We've learned these behaviors. Like, man, you got to wake up, man. The reality of it is, man, is some of us are going to believe, man, and some of us are not. You understand? For those that truly want to believe in the Most High and believe in the power and the Spirit of God, you're going to have to lock yourself in and really realize the importance, you understand, of dedicating yourself to something greater than yourself. You understand? Putting away the things that make you feel good for the benefit of those around you. You understand? With that, man, I'm going to go ahead and end this class. I want to say to all the brothers, Shalom Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua Barak Thumb. To all the sisters, Shalom Yahweh Shamar Thumb B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Another Monday night class. I'll see y'all next week. That's Shalom.